Hi, Coach Shawn here. In this video, I'm going to talk about the cutoff culture. The cutoff culture we live in today. What I have seen personally, where it has come from, and where I see it going. First, let's talk about what cutting people off means in today's world. It means that if someone makes you feel uncomfortable, whether that be a family dynamic, politically, religious differences, or on a simple difference of opinion, it's okay to disregard them and show strength or the upper hand by shutting down communication. It might look like, I'm stepping away. I will not discuss this with you. I'm not rewriting history. Or it can be more bold, not responding, ghosting, or blocking. It may even be, don't contact me anymore. Now, I'm not saying that in some cases this is not warranted, but let's stick with the epidemic of cutoff culture. Why is this happening? As far as we have come as a society and as a species, technology-wise, our ability to communicate has taken a grave hit. If you look at literature and movies, you can see that few contemplate and value the important things in life. How to communicate with purpose, get along with family, make amends, and even deeper, exploring ourselves. To think for ourselves, not what society tells us we should think and how to conduct ourselves, but live by doing the right thing, our own conscience that comes from knowing innately what is right or wrong. So that leads us into the cutoff culture. What I see every day, I see posts that say, go no contact. Choose yourself and don't turn around. Be clear on who gets your time and energy and who gets nothing. Things like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but never force your importance in someone's life. Like the world evolves around you. Like you are the important one and should be treated as such. Be damned how others feel about it. Here's another one. People either accept you or they don't. Keep people in your life that align with the truth of your being, or they don't. Nothing is lost when you remain honest. So people are to accept your truth and being, and anyone who does not is expendable. In other words, you are to accept my version of how I feel, and if you do not, then I will not communicate with you. That says it's all about me and my feelings. I do not have to become a better person. Take me like I am, or you're out. This is everywhere. There is fact, and then there are feelings, and feelings are not fact. While it is important to be empathetic towards one another, it is just as important to be able to express your feelings so that if there is a misunderstanding, it can be cleared in order for the relationship to move forward. This culture does not leave room for communication and misunderstandings. It has become a power dynamic. We see it modeled everywhere. No longer is the news reported objectively. It is all about controlling a narrative. Political leaders are fighting for power, not cohesiveness. Therapists are too busy validating feelings instead of doing the job of evaluating the situation. It has become a feel-good society. If it makes you feel bad, then there must be something wrong with them. Don't like your spouse? Get a divorce. Dating apps? Keep swiping. Can't think for yourself? ChatGPT will do it for you. So here we are, more lonely, more disconnected than ever. People are not getting married or waiting longer and longer to make the commitment. Divorce is at an all-time high, and more people are disconnected from family than ever before. And the standard seems to be, don't let it affect you. The less it affects you, the stronger you are. It's totally normal to treat people like they are disposable. It's okay, perfectly normal. I saw a woman on TikTok the other day. She left a disparaging comment on my site about cutting off her mother. So I went to her site. On the video I clicked on, she was doing dishes, and she was talking about how her mother is dying of cancer and how she will not be there for her death. She said she felt nothing for her mother. She had 13,000 followers. I sat there in disbelief. You feel nothing? Nothing for the woman that gave birth to you? Nothing? Not, I wish things had been different. My heart is breaking. She is dying, and I'm not sure how to handle the situation. No, it was power. Look how great I am that I can treat my mom like this, and you can do it too. She thought that was some sign of strength and was proudly letting the world know that they could do it too and feel just fine about it. Even if you did have a bad parent, and I mean bad, let's define bad. It's sad that I have to go there, but here we go. Physically abused you, sexually abused you, verbally annihilated you, abandoned you, was a total scum of the earth parent. I can't understand, but even then, to feel nothing but power over their impending death and to get on social media and talk about it, I'll say this, she is feeling something. Anger, rejection, certainly not peace, or she would not be talking about it publicly and feel the need to recruit people to validate her. It is not normal to do those things. Now, it is normal to feel some relief when someone who has harmed you pass away, yes, but that was not healthy behavior. I have no idea what happened between that woman and her mother. I see her as broken and in pain and need of help, not recruiting other people to follow her. I do not like to discuss my personal life much. I will say that my relationship with my mom was tumultuous. And I did have times I had to disconnect. I did not find peace in the disconnect, however. I found pain. I wanted my mom. I just could not do everything, raising 2 sets of twins, dealing with my own marital issues, and have the bandwidth to have my mom around. But we always found a way back to one another. It was me who would reach out, like always, and that's okay. I held her hand when she died last June. She was difficult, to say the least. I remember one counselor after another telling me to go no contact with her. I just could not. She was my mom and was dealing with her own childhood trauma. I knew she loved me, and I loved her dearly. She was my mom. I miss her, even her biting sarcasm. I miss my dad, too. I have found that there is no parent that did it perfectly. Some better than others, but no one did. But people are dealing with their own trauma, including our parents. I love them both, despite their imperfections, and I know they tried. I know they loved me. I find that to be a blessing. Not everyone can say, I know my mom or dad loved me, and I'm sorry if that is your circumstance. So where do I see this going? I cannot know for certain. I believe that things will change. I hope that they do. Trends tend to trend the other way eventually. Look at the 50s versus the 60s. Look at television and movies in the 70s and 80s versus now. Look at discipline in schools. The pendulum has swung severely, and the question is, can we ever get it back to center? How do we return to wholesomeness? How do we stop this feel-good, my truth, cut-off culture? We raise our kids the best we can. We try to instill values and empathy in them. Give them a sense of standing on their conscience to do what is right. But somehow this is where we are. Many of you have battled a high conflict partner who cared about winning and used your kids as pawns. We live in a culture that glorifies cutting off parents, getting divorced, infidelity, money, and conflict. I want to say that the pendulum does tend to shift, that in time it will move, usually back in the farthest direction and then settles somewhere in the middle. But that takes decades, and many of us will not be around for that, if that should happen. I'm sorry to say. With regard to the alienated child specifically, it is up to their mental capacities and their heart, just as I was told by counselors to disconnect from my mom as early as my 20s. My father was told by a judge, I had testified on his behalf, that if you mess up again, that young lady will not be there for you. I think I was 20, and I thought, like hell, I'll be there every step of the way. My father dealt with alcohol dependence stemming from a terrible childhood and fought in the front lines in Vietnam. But I had my own steadfastness, my own mind, and my own values. Only your children can make the choice. While I realize the culture has shifted, the wrong examples and advice have always been there. It is up to the individual to decide what is right, what the right thing to do is. Most people know the right thing to do if they have a conscience. The conscience eats away. It eats away until it becomes so uncomfortable that you have no choice but to do the right thing. I know for a fact that there are many people in the world that have no conscience. They live by winning money, power, and image. Our children will make their own choices in life. We raise them the best we know how, just as our parents did. Pray for them and leave it with God. If you want to speak with me privately, you can book a one-on-one. You can find that link in my bio or in the description. I also offer guides to help you with parental alienation and trauma bonding. Please follow me for more videos. Take care.